Hey, folks, let me ask you a question. Would having a blueprint, like a step 1 through 20 or from A to Z on how to get from a little bit of money to millions, would that help you in your life? If you had the ability to take the education and the 5, 6, 7 years of uh, of teaching myself the cryptocurrency business and was able to impart it into you and help you step by step by step by step go create financial freedom in your life, would that be valuable to you? Well, folks, stick around for the next 15 or 20 minutes because that's exactly what I am planning on doing here today. Folks, my name is Brad Varnell. This is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel, and I am so excited to share this information with you today. This is probably the most excited I've ever been for a video. I went into a video a few days ago that kind of went into some of the downfall and some of the things that hadn't been so pleasant in my life. But one of my favorite guys in the whole world, Ed Milet, says life is not happening to you; it is happening for you, and it's amazing to me. Thank you, son. It is amazing to me that how all of the trials and tribulations and the things that I'm going through, there's starting to become a clarity in my mind as to how this is going to help other people improve their lives, how it's going to change people's lives, including my own. The title of the last video that I did was millions to zero, and then how are we going to get it back to millions? But millions to zero, few short years ago, I was broke. I couldn't rub two nickels together. Life was not good. And then thanks to cryptocurrencies and stuff that I've learned and the financial education that I got back at 18, 19, and 20, I was able to have an amazing transformation in my life. Like I said, from zero to millions. And so now we're going to go through the blueprint. If you're sitting here today and you've never ever invested in one cryptocurrency, you're in the right place. If you're sitting here today and you've invested tens and tens and tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars into crypto, you're still in the right place. Now, I got to say up front, folks, that my passion is to help people create financial freedom in their life. The hardworking single moms, the dual parent families where they're both working 50, 60 hours a week and never really get to spend any time together or with their family. I want to create freedom in people's lives, whatever that looks like to you. The great thing about crypto, and part of the reason I'm so passionate about it, is because I believe that you can do that with a little bit of money. Back in 2017, my mentor, a gentleman named Jonathan Kelly, I watched him turn $10,000 into $2.2 million in about a year. And I believe that that kind of stuff is possible again. So, folks, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, man, I don't have any money, like I would love to do some investing, but I don't have any money, you're still right here in the right place because we're going to help you with that. You don't need a lot of money. A lot of people believe that real estate is one of the best places to create wealth. And I do agree with that to a huge extent. But I also know if you're sitting around working hard, punching a time clock, basically living paycheck to paycheck, and inflation has been wiping you out, I know that real estate can seem like a daunting task. And I believe that real estate is a fantastic place to put some of the money that I'm going to help you make over the next year to 2 years. But right now, folks, if you've got, $5,000 net worth or a $25,000 net worth or, even $100,000 net worth, I think that the skills and some of the things that I'm going to teach you over the next little bit are going to be more valuable to you than real estate in the short term. Once again, once we get to these millions that I'm talking about today, then let's diversify and get it into real estate, get it into some revenue producing assets. In the meantime, though, let's just show you exactly what to do. So, folks, I'm going to get right into it. Once again, I really appreciate all of you that are tuning in live. Do me a favor, hit that button or hit that like button, smash the like button, help get this out to more people. And folks, this is totally free. Everything that I'm going to give you today is totally free. but one of my mentors and a guy that I really look forward to becoming good friends with in life, Andy Frisella, every time he does one of these videos, he basically says, pay the fee. And the fee is to share this with folks. Share this with your friends and families and coworkers and your loved ones if you get value out of it. So today, if you love what you heard, if you got some information that is going to transform your life, please share it with other people, man. That's all I ask. So let's get right into it. So why am I so passionate about crypto? Why do I think that I can help anybody get to $1 million plus portfolio in the next couple of years? So real fast, before I get into that, I would be remiss. I'm surprised that my wife hasn't hopped on here and reminded me of this, but I do have to say, folks, I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence. This is for education and entertainment purposes. I'm not telling anybody that they should follow me blindly and just do exactly as I say. These strategies worked for me and got me to $1 million plus portfolio, $1 million plus net worth in the last bull market of 2020 going into 2021. And this is what I'm doing to get back to it after a couple of long, hard, miserable years. But folks, this is not for everybody. So please do your own due diligence. One other thing before I get into this, folks, is I'm doing something a little bit different. And I want you guys to take advantage of this. So many folks, I give them access to me and they don't take advantage of it. There's a million different reasons. I've got a good friend and a mentor named David Meltzer that just, loves helping people, and he tries to help people as much as he can. But the biggest challenge that he has is that he can't get people to reach out to him. Like, they don't feel like they're worthy of his time. Or, I know in my case, I've had trouble reaching out to him because I felt like, hey, if I ask this question and he thinks it's a stupid question, that's going to show him that I have a lack of knowledge or a lack of, not intelligence, but just a lack of understanding in that area. And I don't want him to know that I don't understand that. But folks, one of the things that he's taught me is that is exactly how you level up and get to the next level. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to wear my heart out on my sleeve. I want to be there for you guys that are taking time away. Right now, you've got friends and family and loved ones. It's, 5 o'clock here in Las Vegas, so you could probably be eating dinner. If you're on the East Coast, you could be watching Netflix, and instead you're watching this. So folks, this is my phone number, and I want you to DM me the word millions if you are serious about creating financial freedom in the next bull market. This is going to be scrolling, here and there throughout the video, so you don't have to do it right this second. But right now is probably the best time to do it before you decide, that you're scared or, come up with some reason not to do it. Please DM me at 725-275-8259. DM millions. I'm going to get together with you. You're going to schedule like a little strategy session. This is not an upsell. I'm not looking to try to sell you anything. I just want to build relationships and help those that are serious enough to get in touch with me and that really want to help themselves. So without any further ado, folks, let me get back here to this side here. And, I say hi to Vinish. I appreciate you. Folks, I'm not going to interact with the comments as much as I normally do. I don't want this video to be, an hour-long live stream. I know that you guys are busy, so I want to respect your time. We've been going for about 8 or 9 minutes now. Just stick with me for about another 10 minutes, and I hope that I will change your life. Some of these strategies, if you're brand new to crypto, are going to sound like Chinese, but I want you to know that that's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is here for. Although it might sound like Chinese to you right now, it won't if you stick with me. So the first screen that I want to bring up and I want to show you guys is This is fun. You know what though? You look back on moments like this, and a couple years from now, I'll laugh at this. Right now, in the moment, I I'm not happy about it because, like I was saying, this is kind of a new thing. I had this really planned out, including, as you can see, like with the scrolling phone number. And I really had a plan for this live stream as a way to um, launch the new rebirth of Infinite Crypto, if you will. Launch the new, not the new Brad Varnell, because I'm the same old guy that I always have been. But the last few months, with my dad passing away, with the finances dwindling down like they have, and just so like, imposter syndrome and so many things that have been hitting me from so many areas of life, I was excited to do this video and kind of get things rolling. So is the mic working good again now? It looks like I'm not hearing anybody complain. I'm going to try to share my screen again, but when I do, this time I'm gonna come back and see the look in the comments. So let's get back here to the gains page, and please, folks, can you hear me still? We're on the gains page. Yeah, we are. Okay, so it sounds like it's good now. So what I want everybody to do here is I'm looking to give you guys the the 10,000-foot view, if you will. This video in itself is not going to be every single exact step, but I do want to give you an idea. If I was sitting there, once again, it's not financial advice. If I was sitting there with a few $1,000s that I was trying to figure out, how could I turn a few $1,000s? How could I turn 10 grand into 2 million like my buddy did? What some of the first steps would be. And so, folks, this gains platform is huge. What they do is they bring private companies that want to go public to us, and we're able to buy into these ICOs, they're called independent coin offerings, for as little as $100, and in some cases as much as a few thousand. But what I've found is that you can take a very small amount of money in some of these projects and turn it into unbelievable money. So I'm going to scroll down here and show, so these are their tiers. You got 10,000 tokens, 30,000 tokens, 100,000 tokens, 200,000 tokens. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to recommend that everybody considers getting at least 10,000 tokens in the not too distant future. If you don't have the money to buy all of them right now, we're going to show you how you can get a few at a time. But so you can kind of see here. So Blocktopia, when this says times 109, that means that if you would have had, $1,000 invested in it, at one point in time, it was over 100x. So you could have turned $1,000 into $100,000. I actually had $1,000 invested in Blocktopia, and I have sold about 20 or 25% of my tokens for over 50,000, and I still hold a big chunk of those tokens. But that's one where I can say I personally turned 1,000 into $50,000 because I owned 10,000 gains tokens. As you can see here, the Quant Network was 500x. Avalanche, which is now in the top 15 tokens in the world, was a 52x. Cryo War was 349. Project Seed, this is another one that I did very well on. So this is going to give you the ability to start taking small amounts of money and potentially turn them into big amounts of money. So something I didn't mention already, folks, is if you're watching this and you don't have a pen and paper, get yourself a pen and paper, folks. Rich people, successful people do stuff differently than poor and unsuccessful people. And one thing that successful people realize is that a short memory or a short pencil is better than a long memory. Write this stuff down, folks, so that you can go back to your notes. They say that whatever you're watching here in the next 48 hours, you'll forget at least 80% of it, maybe even 90% if you're not writing it down. So get a pen and paper and write down the gains token. Now, the second screen that I want to share here, real folks, is the actual CoinGecko screen where I've got the gains token pulled up. So let's go over here to CoinGecko real fast. Right now, the gains token is sitting at about 6.2 cents. What that means is that you can get about 10,000 tokens for roughly $620 is going to get you onto the playing field into the fishies tier with 10,000 tokens, where you're going to have an opportunity to invest 300, 400, 500, and in some cases even more into some of these private sales. So now very quickly, a lot of information to go through here. This is a long-term strategy. I'm not recommending that we start buying into these private sales yet. We want to wait until Bitcoin halves. Write that down, folks. Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving, the next event where Bitcoin is going to halve, and it's going to be basically twice as hard to mine, or you're going to get half as much for the same amount of effort, is due to happen in April of 2024. So we do have about 7 months or so to wait for that Bitcoin halving. But folks, do you want to get ready in 7 months, or do you want to be prepared in the next 7 months to make $1 million or more following that? So folks, the Bitcoin halving is a huge event, and this is why I'm showing this token right now, though. 6.2 cents. If we go down here, its all-time high was $1.86. Its all-time low here was about 2 months ago at a little over 5 cents. So it's up slightly from its all-time low. But folks, I owned this token when it was $1.86, and I couldn't sell it because in order to get in on these private sales, you got to own the token. You got to hold 10,000 of these tokens in your wallet, and now you have to stake them. So what I am going to do a little bit differently is during the last bull market, I held my tokens all the way through the bull market, had 10,000 tokens that would have been worth, $18,000. And then I held them all the way down through this bear market. And I've got, 10,000 tokens right now that are worth $600. So we're going to make money two ways off of the gains token. The first thing that we're going to do is we want to get them as cheap as we can. And I think that right now is a pretty darn good time to start accumulating gains tokens. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to stake them. And folks, for those of you that don't understand any of these words, don't let that stop you from finishing watching this video and getting some education and learning. Financial education will set you free. So we're going to stake these tokens inside the Gains platform for about a year. You have to stake them for 12 months. No ifs, ands, or buts. Once you lock them up, they're locked for 12 months. You don't have liquidity, which means you can't sell them. So if you locked them up for 12 months tomorrow, I don't care if it went to $10 the next day, you would not be able to sell those tokens for a year. So what we want to do is strategically, we want to lock these tokens up. We want to stake them when it gets close to the next bull market, when we really want to maximize the private sales that we're going to be able to get into and hit them as they're going up, so that we can get some of those 10, 50, 100, possibly even 1,000 X's on some of these private sales that we're going to invest into during the next bull market. When is the next bull market going to be? Nobody knows, but that's why you follow folks like me. I'm going to be able to get you there. When it starts to get close, I know the signs. I know what I'm looking for. So once again, it's not financial advice. You can buy your tokens and stake them, but part of what I'm going to do is be keeping an eye on this. And so roughly, Bitcoin is going to have in April of next year, I believe that for the next 12 months or so after that, crypto is going to do very, very well, especially the last 6 months of 2024 and the first 2, 3, 4 months of 2025. So knowing that, I want to stake my tokens. When I get ready to stake my tokens, I want to stake them roughly in about January or February of 2024. That way, as Bitcoin halves, they're staked. I can start buying into these private sales. And then when 2025 rolls around and the bull market is at its peak, because I personally believe that Bitcoin is going to break through and hit all-time highs towards the end of 2024 and into the beginning to middle of 2025, I want the ability, as we're nearing the peak of the bull market, to be able to sell these tokens for that $1.80, $2, $3, who knows how high they're going to go to during this next bull market. For easy math, though, let's just say that it hits $2. So if you buy 10,000 tokens right now for, $620, we'll call it 650 with fees, whatever, and then you're able to sell them when they hit $2 towards the peak of the next bull market, you just turned $600 and change into 20 grand. And now you have that 20 grand that you can invest as wisely as you choose to. So part of what I recommend for folks is, if you've got $10,000 available to start investing, I would consider picking up maybe 20,000 or even 30,000 of these tokens over the next handful of months. And then what my plan is I'm going to stake them in 3 different wallets at 3 different times slightly, to make sure that at least one of them I'm getting to cash out at the absolute peak. Now, if something happens and your tokens don't become available until, they're worth $1.25, say it goes from $2 by the time your tokens are available to sell, it's all the way down to $1.25. You still just turned a little over 600 into, 12,500. It's not so bad, but that's one of the first strategies. So you're not only going to turn every $600, in my opinion. Once again, not financial advice. There's no guarantees in life, but I believe that every $600 or so thrown at the Gains token right now is probably going to turn into, in the ballpark of anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 over the next couple of years, if you're able to sell them at the peak. Now, to get back to the real reason you want to own the Gains tokens, though, is not for the capital gains that you're going to get when you sell them. The reason that you want to own the Gains tokens is so that you can buy into these private sales. And once again, I'm going to give you step-by-step advice. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I've researched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these tokens as they're getting ready to launch, and I'm an expert. I know what to look for. So there's vesting. That means that when you get your tokens, you don't get all of your tokens all at once because it's a private sale. So because you got in early at a discounted price, a lot of times it takes anywhere from 6 months to 2 years to get all of your tokens. But I understand these vesting schedules and I know what to stay away from. So as we get closer to that bull market and it becomes time to start investing in these private sales, I'm going to be here with you on basically a daily basis during the bull market, showing you guys exactly, what I'm doing. So the second token that I want to show you, I've talked about this token a ton, but the second token that I want to show you guys is called BeamSwap. I'm going to go up here, and for those of you that are new to crypto, CoinGecko.com is your friend. CoinGecko.com is absolutely going to be one of your best friends. So we're going to go over here to BeamSwap, type that in the search engine. The ticker here is Glint. This is another token that I'm extremely, extremely, extremely bullish on, folks. And it's got a little bit of the same properties that the last token that I talked about has. This token only has a market cap of $280,000, which is almost nothing. But right now, as you can see here, it's at 00063. What that means, let me show you something, folks. You can buy 1 million of these tokens, $639. 1 million of these tokens. Now, I'm not saying that this token is ever going to become worth $1 billion market cap, but I am going to tell you that I think that this token, if I had to bet something very, very important to me, I would never bet my life or bet an arm or bet, a body part on something. I just don't believe in that. But if somebody was pointing a gun at me and told me, you have to give me the token that's going to turn $1,000 into $1 million in the next bull market, this is the token that I would pick. So let's say, to go from 287,000, I don't know if you can see my phone or not. I'm not on the comments page, but if we take $280,000 market cap and multiply that by 1,000, it's 280 million. Now, folks, just to give you a little bit of reference here, I'm going to scroll down here and show you a token called Uniswap. Where did it go here? Uniswap, where are you? Let's do it this way here real fast, folks. Uniswap. So Uniswap is a DEX, a decentralized exchange, the same as BeamSwap is, only it is part of the Ethereum network. BeamSwap is part of the Moonbeam network. But you can see here, hopefully you can see this on my screen, $3.359 billion market cap. That means it's well over 10 times the 280 million that I just showed you that Glint or BeamSwap would have to get to. Now, what's really crazy, if you scroll down here, it's 90% down from its all-time high. That means you could basically take this market cap and 10x it. So at its peak during the last bull market, it was worth 30 something billion dollar. It was a $30 billion company. Is it possible for BeamSwap, Glint, to do something similar? No, I'm going to be totally transparent with you. I don't believe BeamSwap is going to get anywhere near 30 something billion dollar market cap, but it doesn't need to. It only needs to get to 280 million, and that would be 1,000x. But what's even crazier, folks, is 280,000 times 100 is only $28 million, folks. You 100x your money if it just goes up to 28 million, which is nothing. It's basically, if you go on to CoinGecko here, you can look, there's 10,000 coins. In order to get down to the $28 million market cap range, you're probably down at tokens that are in the 400th or 500th instead of in the top, anywhere in the top 200, probably get you well up into the $200 million range. So I don't want to go on my high horse too much, folks, but this is another one that I would be getting a hold of. And the reason that I want to mention it also is not just because of the capital gains, but BeamSwap also has a DEX. It also has an IDO platform where you're going to be able to buy into tokens that are private now but want to launch to the public, and they're going to go public on the BeamSwap network because they want to be part of the Moonbeam network. All of them are part of the Polkadot ecosystem, which is another token that I'm super excited about. So how many tokens would I buy? How many tokens do I want? Well, in order to get into the top tier of this token's IDOs, you got to have 800,000 of them. But folks, I think that that's selling it a little bit short because it's down so far right now. Its all-time high was 10 or 11 cents. So that's something else here. I want to, if you take 10 cents, 0.10 divided by 0.0006, that's 166x just to get up to its previous all-time high. But I think that there's a possibility that as we get closer to the bull market, that instead of 800,000 tokens getting you all the way up to the highest tier for getting into their IDOs, I would say, conservatively speaking, I would multiply that by about 3. So I would say in the ballpark of about 2.5 million tokens. And probably if I really wanted to be safe, I would be trying to accumulate maybe closer to 4 million tokens. The good news, folks, is that 4 million tokens is still only, $2,500, somewhere in that ballpark. So if you spent 2,500 on Glint and you spent, 600 times 3 on the gains tokens, you're talking about 1,800, 2,000 to get 30,000 gains, 2,500 to get 4 million BeamSwap. You're still got over half of your $10,000 left. And real quick, before I get off of here, because I do want to get off of here because this is an important video that I want people watching. And I know that if the video is too long, people are going to scroll over it on YouTube. They're not going to watch it because it's too long. So let me finish this up real fast. But if I was going to take that $10,000 and start off getting some of these speculative tokens, the way that I would work with the other 5,000 or so that I have is I would go to CoinGecko and I would look at the top 25 tokens, starting here with Bitcoin. And I would scroll down and once again, write these down, look at them, do your own research. But some of the tokens that I would buy, because it's important to have some of the blue chips. You always want to have a few Microsoft and Teslas and Apples and, Amazons in your portfolio. The trouble with those is that it's hard to get rich off of them if you have a small amount of money, but it's still incredibly valuable to have a good base. So XRP is a token that I would consider buying if I was you. Cardano is another top performer that I believe is going to be amazing. Polkadot is one of my absolute favorites. Chainlink, I think, is going to do massive. It has some incredible partnerships announced, and I think Chainlink is going to get more adoption in this next bull market than 99% of the cryptos out there. Uniswap that we just talked about, not a bad little hedge on your bets. That's probably going to go up. $44 would be a 10x. And let's say that it, doubles that. So it gets up to 100. You might 25x your money. So, a few $100s in Uniswap might not be a bad idea. And then as we get down here a little bit further, we've got HBAR, Hedera, sitting at about a nickel. I think that's an incredible investment. You're going to be very happy if you have some HBAR at a nickel. I also am a big proponent of VeChain and the VET token. So those are a handful of tokens that Algorand here, way down to number 50, $794 or $794 million market cap. That's gonna be a company that's pretty solid, worth almost a billion, just under $1 billion, but could potentially become worth 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 billion during the next bull run. So I'm going to pick up where this left off. This is obviously not the last video that I'm going to do about this type of stuff, because I didn't get anywhere near into all of the steps. Once again, text me if you need any help figuring out how to buy any of these tokens, how to get the wallet set up. Text me, DM me millions at the Infinite Crypto telephone number here, 725-275-8259. And last but not least, folks, I want to get over here and just do one last thing. I am a huge proponent of personal development. I think one of the things that's going to separate me over the next couple of years from a lot of the other cryptocurrency influencers is that I am very, very, very much integrating myself in and leveling up with the types of people that I am spending time with. So I mentioned earlier in this video that I think real estate is an amazing place to start parking some of our money as we accumulate it. Well, this first gentleman down here, or the third gentleman here, Ryan Pineda, he's a real estate investor worth tens of millions of dollars here in Las Vegas that I'm building a personal relationship with. If you go check out my socials, my Telegram channel, my YouTube or my Twitter, my Facebook, I have a picture of him and I on Friday night of last week where we were hanging out at his office here in Las Vegas. I'm going to be able to integrate him into this community as it grows. Another good reason to please share this video and help me get my subscriber base up. Guys like Ryan will be very excited to come and share what they're doing and be a part of this community when we get up to 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers. The second name on that list that I want to point out is my favorite human in the whole world, living or dead at this point. If I could spend one day with one person in the world that's living or dead, it would be Ed Mylett. If any of you know him, show him this clip. I'm looking forward to getting to know him and being friends with him. Now, I'm a part of a couple of his business groups. I watch his podcast every week, but I haven't actually had an opportunity to walk up and shake his hand. He's going to be at an event here, WealthCon, that I'm going to. Check it out, WealthCon here in Las Vegas tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm hoping that maybe I'll get an opportunity to meet him at WealthCon. But this gentleman here will change your life. This guy's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's an incredible, strong Christian. He comes from an amazing story. He had a father who was an alcoholic, had a really traumatic childhood. But then his dad quit drinking when he was 15 years old, and his dad turned into most incredible man. His dad is his hero. His father unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. But an amazing story, and this guy changed my life and is part of the reason that I'm back on track. I'm looking forward to meeting him and being able to share him with this community. And then last but certainly not least, go look up David Meltzer. Don't look up Dave Meltzer. You'll come up with a totally different guy. Look up David Meltzer. He wrote a book called Connected to Goodness. He's a good friend of mine now and a mentor. And, these folks have been instrumental in my life. So if you want to level up and really get to where you want to go in life, everybody talks about how the 5 people that you spend the most time with, you're going to be the 6th. You spend, all your time with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke person. You spend all your time with 5 people that don't care about other people, that aren't givers, that are just taken in life, you're going to become the 6th taker. Folks, these guys right here are incredible humans. Not only are they financially some of the wealthiest people that I've had the privilege of getting to know and spend time with, but they're also some of the biggest hearted, most giving, good, solid, caring Christian folks that I've ever met in my life. So with that, folks, I could talk for another 2 hours, man. I'm fired up, but we've been 40 minutes. I'm going to hop off of here for today. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you see me the next time I go live. And let's go get rich. Not because we want the Lambos and the houses and all of that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but let's go buy back our freedom. Let's have the ability to spend time with our friends and our family and our kids and the people that mean the world to us. Not have our thumb, not have somebody else's thumb down on us in our life, whether it's a boss or the government or anybody that is, that is stifling you from having the life that you want. Let's go out and get it, man. Cryptocurrency is a huge, huge, tremendous opportunity for those of you that take advantage of it over the next 12 or 24 months. I love you all. I thank you very much for being here. God bless you.